All right, welcome. Next episode here, Saturday, April 29th. It's Trey Colbeck here on Harness News Live. Got a lot to talk about in the world of harness racing. We got Century Stakes, a limb recap, and Fraser closing weekend it's coming up. We also have the Kentucky Sire Stakes recap to talk about. Next up, we also have a little milestone was hit out in Quebec. We'll talk about that more later. And we also got Manitoba Stakes schedule finally was released and how exciting that is here locally. We'll talk about the Diamond Classic slot holders. Names were announced. Quick recap of Harness Link correspondent focus and setup. What's we got going on all this upcoming Saturday, this Saturday, whichever you consider it. This Saturday, Kentucky Derby Saturday is what I'm talking about. But up first, we'll do a little recap of what went down at Century Mile. There was a couple eliminations. The Bev Sears Memorial 4-year-old mares. In the first elimination, we had Gray C with Nathan Sobey winning that in 156 and 2. Dial him up with Dave Kelly and Sully and Hanover with Giesbrick was your top 3 there. Let's go to Vegas with Tyler Redwood was 4th. Lost in the Moment with Mike Hennessy was 5th there. I believe it's probably top 4, make it to the finals or something like that. So, we'll see that up on Saturday. Here in the second elimination, let's take a quick look here and see what Cozy Up did down the stretch. Nice little down the stretch cam there, brought to you by the fine folks at Century Downs. Cozy Up, taking care of business here in the second elimination with Brandon Campbell. It's a name we will talk about a couple times today. They won this one in 155, a 29-1 closing quarter for Cozy Up to have the fastest elimination time for the in the Bev Sears anyway. Second was Outlaw What If CC with Gillis. With third, it was Rising Star with Tyler Redwood. Number 4, Outlaw Kiss My Class and finished 4th. And then Eyes on the Prize finished 5th. And unfortunately, Chris Brown, an instant win, 6th place there. Don't think he made the cut for the finals, but that's okay. He'll be back better and stronger next time around. There was also the Ed Tracy for 4-year-old Colts and Geldings, first 2 eliminations. Here we in the first one, Kill a Dragon won in 153 and 4 with who you guessed it, Brandon Campbell. Grampian Road scored 2nd with Mike Hennessy, and Herd Immunity finished up the top 3 with Giesbrick. Light My Shadow was 4th. Julian Get the Stretch was 5th, and HFET Call Home with Nathan Sobey was 6th in that one. In the second elimination, we got a little bird's eye view one more time of what happened down the stretch at Century Downs. Yeah, and that one you just witnessed Campbell getting the hat trick pretty early in the day with Outlaw Chippendale winning the second elimination and 154 and 2. So Brandon Campbell trains and drives both the winners in the Ed Tracy Memorial eliminations there. Second place was Coyote with Mike Hennessy. We also had Blast of Sunshine with Giesbrick in third. In fourth came a Cavalier, the Kelly Hort entry with Gillis in the bike. In fifth, we had Order One to Go. Sixth was Never Grow Up. And seventh, HF Patrick. So Century Downs will continue Friday night, 5:15 Mountain Time. Adjust your time zones accordingly with 8 races. And again on Saturday at 1:15 Mountain Time. The stakes finals will go on Saturday, and we will have that preview on the next episode of the show. But we're going to stick with Western Canada for now, out a little bit farther west. Fraser Downs' final day of racing goes on this weekend. They have Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific, And it says on their calendar 6 p.m. Pacific time for the closing Friday. A little earlier there, which means we actually might be able to go to bed before midnight watching Fraser. Ain't gonna complain. They got 9 races going down on Friday night, and two important ones here are the $50,000 stakes. First up, the Penny Bath Memorial Stakes for 3-year-old fillies. Only 5 go to post. In this one, drawing the inside side piece, the Marino Campbell entry would be that's one you need to look at here. Those two separately do well on their own, and those two together are pretty hard to stop, coming in at 6-5 morning line odds. But there's also the 3-hole Stonebridge Jade coming at 7-5. So those two were kind of your clear favorites in that one. Um, you know, Hard to say. If you want another good one, I would actually take the 5 centerpiece coming at 5-8, just because it's another Jim Marino entry. It is the second long shot on the board, but a field of 5 in a stake race, never know what might go down. The estimated post time for this one is 8 p.m. Pacific on Friday night. And they also have the 3-year-old Colts and Geldings final, 50,000 in the Keith Linton stake, or Memorial stake. Few more in this one. You got a full field of 9 to kick or the end off the season. Not many trainers, though. There's only, I think, 3 different trainers for the 9 entries. Kind of interesting stat. Marino has 4. Chris Lancaster has 1, 2, 3. And Rod Thiers has the other 2. So, pretty quick math. I think that's still 9. So, not many trainers here, but it should still be a good race nonetheless. And surprise, surprise, the favorite, the 2 Domi coming in with Campbell and in the bike and Marino trained at 2-1. I think it's going to be interesting seeing all these stablemates, because you never know what might happen, because you have a Marino horse on the inside and you have a couple from the outside. Not saying there's going to be funny business, but just, never know what could happen when you have a lot of the horses coming from the same stables. But I think Domi is a clear bet. If Campbell's jumping aboard, that's the horse that most likely will put on a show. Second favorite right now looks to be the 6 Mickey Mantle. Rod Thiers entry. Could see what that, or sorry, a Chris Lancaster entry. You're looking at the wrong line. They're coming in at 4-1, and at 9-2, it's Son of a Beach, which is the Rod Thiers entry. So good races going on this weekend out west. You know what? We'll jump now south of the border. Some more 50,000 races, but these are just early stage leg races going on in Kentucky. 50,000 for the Kentucky Sire Stakes Leg 2. We have a couple different entries here. We have the trot, the horse and gelding trot went for 50,000. Keg stand wins in 154-1. TNT Blue Chip was second, and you got Long Shot was third. Interesting enough, there was a full field of 9 in this one in leg 2, but in leg 1, only 4 horses ran. I Won't Back Down won the first leg. Unfortunately, finished 8th in leg 2, but won the first leg in 157-4. Majestic J got second in leg 1, but finished 6th in leg 2. Top Rank finished 3rd, and in leg 1, but unfortunately finished 7th in leg 2. So some of the horses that did go in the first leg did not have such a good go here in leg 2. We'll move on to the 4-year-old trotting mares. This one too had a full field of 9. Oh, I practiced one. Yanaba went in 154-1, winning this one. She did not race the first time, so this was her first start in the series. Came off with a big win. Eternally came in second, and third was Pioneer as. Interesting enough, Eternally won the first leg in 154-2, mimicking the same time in leg 1. Won leg 1 in 154-2, and mimicked the same time here in leg 2. Pioneer as got second in leg 1, finished third this time, and last time Saint. Oh, I totally worked on this one too. Anthony, no, not Anthony. Saint Atone. Yeah, got that one in third and got 5th this time around. Ace is going to yell at me about that one because we worked on that one earlier. Yeah, in the chat we got each of the Kentucky finals will go for 250,000 each. That's crazy. That the legs are 50,000 and the final goes for that much. But hey, wow, a lot of love for horse racing in Kentucky, as we all know what's going on down on Saturday. The 4-year-old mares, Pacers, leg 2 also went down, a fuller field of 10. All these horses also raced in leg 1. We have a few here. Queen of Success won in 152 flat. She won the Kentucky Commonwealth Series final last year. We have Badar Hanover got second in leg 1, was the Kentucky Sire Stakes champion last year, and won the first leg in 152 and 4. Second leg finished 4th in 152 flat. Got a better time, but not as good result as well. So your top 3, in the leg 2 was Queen of Success. Second was ain't he the same without you in second, and the 3 Don't Fence Me In was third, and Badar Hanover was fourth. On leg 1 we had Badar Hanover winning it. Style for Me was second, and Don't Fence Me In was third. And moving on to the Pacers horse and geldings, all or nothing, put it all out there, and won in 150 and 2. Also won the first leg, has went 4 for 5 in the short 2022 season. 152 is a new life mark. I did it my way, got second in leg 2 as well in the first leg. Won the first leg, in 150. Kentucky Series champion last year, made finals of North America Cup, Meadowlands Pace, and Breeders' Crown finished second. This in leg 2, Wolf Tracks finished third. So yeah, we got a few more legs of that. I believe there's 4 legs and then a final, which will go down for $250,000. I believe that was from Harness Link, but I'm pretty sure that's Steve Wolf writing in. So thank you very much. So I need a drink before I attempt this. We're gonna pull out the French. We're gonna pull out the French here. I apologize. I am not a French major by any stretch, but félicitations pour vente 3 million Victor Pascal. So that's congratulations for the 3,000th win, Pascal. We're breaking barriers here. You know, I could have said it in English, but it wouldn't have meant as much as me butchering it in French. Congratulations to Pascal Beru, who now sits at 3,002 wins over 17,700 starts. He's earned over 10 million lifetime with a UDRS of 2.290. He started driving in 1992. Fun fact, me and Ace were not born then, but, you know, a lot of people probably have started driving before me and Ace were born. But his best statistical year was 2022, where he had 1.1 million in earnings as a driver with 206 wins and 877 starts and a UDRS of 0.388. Congrats again to Pascal. Keep up the good work, man. I tried interviewing him once. Didn't work with a little bit of a language barrier, but I was able to get a good piece out because my girlfriend speaks French. So it all worked out. I just never actually spoke to him at all that time. Next up, you know, back in my neck of the woods, if you all know Mr. Manitoba. So you wonder, I'm pretty excited about this. We finally have a stake schedule here in Manitoba, and we'll break it down a little bit for anyone here in Manitoba. So you know what? Seems like good news is coming if there's a stake schedule out. The stake season in Manitoba will start on July 15th with the Lady Crocus. That's 3-year-old fillies. Usually a good one. Usually has full fields and a decent purse size. Then we move on to August 5th will be the Futurity Eliminations. That's for 3-year-olds as well, both genders. And the finals of that is usually the richest race we have in Manitoba, which comes later in the fall. August 12th, we'll have the Golden Boy and Silk Lace leg 1. That's again for 3-year-olds, colts, and 3-year-old fillies. August 19th, we'll have the Manitoba Great Western Eliminations. This is the second year where the eliminations happen the week prior instead of the same day. It used to be a race where they had the 2 heats in one day, kind of like the Little Brown Jug, but they have changed the rules. Last year, there was no need for eliminations, but the rule had already been altered. So, you know, we'll see how it happens in that one. It's usually a pretty good race because August 26th is the 76th running of the Manitoba Great Western Final. You know, I'm excited. I called the 73rd, 74th, and 75th running of this race. So I'm pretty excited for this one. One of the oldest stake races in Western Canada, consecutively running. It's a great one. I should. There's a lot of people here that know the history of that, and I should actually get them on the show one time and talk about that. The next one, September 2nd, 4-year-old stakes. No name for it yet. I'm still pushing to get it called the Mr. Manitoba Stakes. As I'm probably the biggest lover of the sport, and I love the 4-year-old stakes. And who doesn't want to be crowned Mr. Manitoba? That sounds like a pretty awesome name. Also, September 9th, we have the Futurity Final. Like I said earlier, the would be the most richest stake we have here. And we also have the kindergarten, some babies getting out there. September 16th, Golden Boy and Silk Lace Lake 2. September 23rd, Golden Boy and Silk Lace final with the juvenile. And that should be the final day of racing according to the tentative schedule, unless a rainout date of September 30th is needed. A lot of stake races. I love that. I remember just a few years ago, there was like 3 or 4 that actually seemed to happen, but starting to spread out more, starting to get more. And I hope there's a big field. Sounds like a lot of Manitoba bred, Canadian bred. All the horses that qualify for these races will be at the Loop once it opens. It sounds like it's not official, but we'll have it when it is official here on Harness Link. But it sounds like the season in Winnipeg will start June 24th, as long as the schedule gets approved, with qualifiers going down on June 10th. There will also be 2 days of racing in Miami Fair, July 22nd and 29th. Post time supposed to be 2 p.m. Central. Again, that could change. It's not a fully proved yet, but if there's one person you want to find out all the information about Manitoba, maybe go with the guy that has a hat that says Mr. Manitoba. That's a good site holder there that I know what's going on. Geez, a lot of $50,000 stakes. We're going to talk about another one going down. That's going to go down in November 5th out in Truro Raceway. The Diamond Classic. The Phillies division had their slot holders announced this buy-in stake. The Truro Raceway sold 8 slots for the Diamond Classic 2-year-old Atlantic sired Philly division. The $50,000 event will go Sunday, November 5th, and this will be the richest race in Nova Scotia this year. Quick read off of the names we have done for the day stable. Hardcore Racing, Dr. Ian Moore, Claire McDonald, Dickway Farms, Mike Pollard, Gene Smallman, and Peter Smith will all have all currently own slots, but slot owners will have the right to use the slot or make a deal to sell or trade it right up until declaration time of the race. So those could change. So it'll be an interesting thing to watch over the coming months. What 2-year-olds really rise to the top in Atlantic Canada, and maybe some of those ones will be eyeing one of these slots. Unfortunately, the Colts division did not reach the required 8 sold, so it will not go forward. But here's a quick quote from General Manager of Truro, General Manager Steve Fitzsimmons. He says, "We're really pleased that the Phillies division will go forward this season. We so appreciate the support we receive from all the slot purchasers. This race will be the first of its kind in Atlantic Canada. We hope it leads to great things in the future and look forward to hosting the race on November 5th. So yeah, big congratulations for getting from Harness News Live out to Truro. As if you read my stuff or listen to me talk, I'm really loving everything that's going on at Truro Raceway. Sad that the Colts division didn't get filled, but let's try again next year. Real quick, we're getting here. We're moving along. Here's a quick Harness Link correspondent focus. Kim Rinker wrote of a Kiwi who's thriving at Diamond Creek Farm. Kim always puts out good stuff. John Barry's main attraction, discuss breeders stepping up to the plate. If you've never heard of this young kid, you better read John Barry's stuff. He's going places. Me and Ace have put him under our wing, and I think we're really pushing him to do great things. Tom Pye completed his series on Joe Weidman with a great final chapter. The one and only Mr. Manitoba, myself, Trey Colbeck. I wrote a special connection between a young girl and a harness horse. Skylar Ray and her connection with Sky's little spunk. If you want to check that out. Thomas Hicks. I didn't say Tim, not Tim Hicks. Not Tom's cousin Tim, the country music singer, but Tom. He covered the 660,000 Grand Primo Lotteria from Napoli. Yeah, my Italian's worse than my French. I'll try that one more time. Euro Grand Premio Lotteria from Napoli which saw the track record fall in the Constellation. Terry Gange had had nice stories about a comebacker and an upstart in Australia. Brad Reed reported on trotting Oaks hopeful, and the Rangiora Winter Cup winner in New Zealand. Oh, that's a word, Rangiora. I've got to have to hear them say it with the Kiwi accent. That would be great. Bruce Stewart heralded the success of New Zealand pacer Triple G. And yeah, Nick's kicking around. Nick's, if you ever want recaps and some good stories, check out our boy Ace. He's always kicking around somewhere. If he's not, if he's not hustling chess games, he's writing for Harness Link. Here. Yeah, we have some opening days this upcoming weekend as well. A couple tracks opening up on Kentucky Derby Saturday. We have Charlottetown starting on May 6th at 6 p.m. Atlantic time, and we also have Hiawatha also on May 6th at 5:30 Eastern time. Again, make sure you're paying attention to those time zones. And then on the 7th, Truro opens up at 1 p.m. Atlantic time. Also next week, I'm really excited for next week. We got a lot going on next week. I don't know how long this show might be next week, but we're going to have Melissa Keith, on-air personality for Truro Raceway, to come on and talk about things going on out in the islands, out in the Maritimes, Nova Scotia. Maybe we'll have some Alexander Keith with her. Is she related to that guy? I'll have to ask her. Maybe she's related to Alexander Keith. Who knows? And we'll talk about everything going on there. And also, I get to enjoy watching Ace lose to a kid who can't even legally gamble yet in the second edition of the Harness News Live Handicapping Challenge. Grady Hashi will come join us as well, and he'll stomp Nick into oblivion. Hopefully, they both have $75 hypothetical dollars. Hypothetical $75 to bet on opening day at Truro on May 7th. A minimum of 3 wagers must be made. And again, it is hypothetical. Got to stress that extra with Grady. But I think Grady can grow a better mustache than Ace. So we'll, maybe that'll see. Whoever earns the most from those bets will be crowned the undisputed champion of the world. Good luck, gentlemen. And then again, that goes next Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. But before that, we will be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Harness Link social media as well. We start on YouTube today. We have it on Twitter and we on Facebook. Make sure you check it out. On behalf of myself and Ace, see you later. Bye-bye.